Hi, I'm Kyle Root. I'm a training program developer with MSU IT, and I'm in Ericsson Kiva today. We're going to be taking a look at this digital tech cart. So first of all, I'm going to walk you through connecting your microphone, getting that going. Audio is the most important thing, not only for your in-class audience, but your remote audience. And then we'll power up the system. We'll look at the projector for the in-class participants and also the webcam for your online participants. How to share out content, whether that's your desktop or maybe a document scanner such as we have over here. We'll look at that. What happens if you need to play a DVD or maybe connect some other sort of external device to it? We can do that on the side of the tech cart. And then once you're all done and class is over, what do you need to do to exit the system, logging out, and what happens with that? So we're going to go through all that today, and enough said. Let's get started. To use the lavalier or lapel mic, grab the transmitter out of the dock, plug in and tighten down the mic, and then clip it onto your clothing just a palm's length down or so. The transmitter has a muted mode shown by a yellow indicator light, and then to speak, toggle it off, which then shows a green indicator light. If there's a handheld mic and you prefer that, grab that out of the dock, and again there is a yellow muted mode and a green mic mode. Now let's get the touch panel control system going. Press yes to power it on, and let's turn on the projector as well, which will automatically turn that on and lower the screen in the front of the room. Pull out the keyboard and log into the host PC with your MSU NetID and password. Okay, now that we have logged into the host computer, we have our projector running for the in-class audience. Let's go ahead and launch Zoom and we'll get our remote audience going. You'll have to log in here. You might see a script pop up with a black window and it runs a few things. That's totally normal. I'm already logged in here. So I'm just going to go ahead and start a meeting. You can join with the computer audio. There shouldn't be any need to change anything there. Okay, so you'll see it does not start the video right away. So what we'll have to do is actually start the video. And when we do that, it automatically picks up the web camera that's attached to the tech cart. And so there's no problem there. If you need to make any changes to it or you want to focus on something or even someone, you can use the remote. Make sure you press number 1 for the camera select, and then you can use the up and down arrows for the tilt, and then the right and left arrows for the pan. Now let me actually swing it around this way. If you need to focus on someone, for example, you can use the zoom keys. You can zoom in and you can see how far this thing actually zooms in. It does an absolute great job at doing that. Okay, what I did right there is press the P and 1, that's program 1. I'll press P2. P3. Okay, so it does have program modes. You can reference the hybrid tech cart documentation on the desktop if you need to find more detailed information. So this is really handy to give you more detailed information on the tech cart. And for example, if you wanted to configure those presets when you're in the room and just press P1, P2, P3, there's a lot of different presets, so you can automatically switch the camera to that very quickly. As you're speaking in class, you might see the camera try to reframe and follow you as you're going. So as you're moving around, you might see that camera move and it shows framing on the top left there. Okay, there it goes. It did a very good job at that. So if you have a tendency to wander a little bit, it should try to grab you as you're doing that. If you go too far, let's test it out here. Okay, it just goes kind of to the basic position. Now once I kind of move into frame, it will try to grab me here. Okay, yep, did a really good job with that. So if you're standing at the tech cart, you move a little bit, shouldn't be a problem. Now, let me pause here and take a moment to talk about the webcam in relation to your in-class audience. When you're speaking to the audience in class, you're obviously looking at them, making eye contact, totally normal, and for engagement, it's very important. So when you have a remote audience, you need to make sure to look at the webcam. That is their eyeball. So you're already disconnected physically. So if they are not getting any eye contact from you, then they're going to be really disengaged. But if you're looking directly at them, it's going to be very, very important for them and their engagement. And I see that a lot in meetings as well. So not only when you're doing classroom work, but also in meetings. Try to look at the camera, make that eye contact. I see a lot of people, the web camera is over here. They're looking at Zoom on their screen. They're looking at people's eyes, but you can't see them and they're totally disengaged. But once I turn to the camera or look at the camera, it's a totally different feel. So really keep that in mind. Might not seem very natural at first, but you'll get used to it. Just think of that as another student or group of students and just look directly at them. Now there may be instances where you need to use the document camera to show the students in class and remotely something that you have on paper, or you need to draw something. So in that case, through Zoom, you can actually share out the video from the document camera on some tech cards. This one, however, you need a separate application to do that. So let me show you that. For example, if I go to the little up arrow on the video, I'm not seeing any document camera here. So if you're not sure if you need to use it or not, well, that's a good way to find out. So it's just showing our Aver webcam here. So in this case, we need to go to this Elmo ImageMate, and you can see that the document camera itself is an Elmo document camera. So I'm going to go ahead and launch that. It automatically picks up the document camera and displays that. So what I need to do is go back to Zoom, and we're going to go ahead and share screen. And I'm just going to share out the entire screen. That's probably the best way to do it. If you need to share out a PowerPoint, a document, in this case, the ImageMate software, just sharing your entire screen gets you covered. You don't have to switch between documents, or switch between applications rather, and share out those different ones. So just do your entire screen. And little side note, if you are sharing a video or something that has sound, maybe an audio clip, make sure to check that box. And I'll leave it checked, no big deal here. I'll share my screen. So now, the remote audience is seeing my document camera, and here I can draw, do whatever I need to on the document camera. Okay, and I can go ahead and stop that share. My software is still running in the background. Not a big deal, we can just keep that running if you need to go back to it. That way it's already running, and you can just share out your entire desktop again. Okay, so we looked at how to share out your audio, video, and content through a Zoom meeting, but let me jump over to Teams and show you how to do it there. Just FYI, you do need to use the web-based application for Teams. The client is not installed on your system. So in this case, I'm just going to go ahead and do a Meet Now meeting. I'm going to allow the microphone and camera. So the camera is toggled on, but I'm not seeing the camera on the tech cart. So just go ahead and click on the camera. You'll see it'll swap over, and we'll pick up the web camera that's attached to the cart. So that's what we want. We'll just go ahead and Meet Now. And it picks up our video, and everything is going just fine. Okay, so if you want to actually share out content other than the video, you can just go ahead and open the share tray. And again, I do suggest using the full desktop window, the entire screen. That way, if you need to switch between applications, you don't have to do anything with the sharing. So let's just share our entire screen. And you'll see what actually happened is my video in the Teams meeting went away. That's because it can only share one thing at a time right now. So they are seeing your desktop, and once you're ready to stop sharing, you can just go ahead and click stop sharing here or on the toolbar. And my video doesn't automatically pick back up, so you will have to click on the turn camera on button, and then again it picks up the web camera, and then your remote audience can see you. So again, within Teams, you can always use the remote here for the camera. If you need to zoom out a little bit or adjust it, that's just fine. Move it up or down, tilt, pan, all that good stuff. So don't forget about the remote. Camera select 1, that'll get you going. Okay, so that's just a quick look at how to use Teams instead of Zoom to share out your audio, video, and desktop. Now let's move on to talk about playing a DVD or even a video file for a remote or a remote and in-class audience. Now, for this, the best option is the VLC Media Player application that's on the desktop of the host PC. That'll allow you to share out your desktop through Zoom or Teams and play the video using the VLC Media Player. As I mentioned earlier, don't forget to toggle on sharing the computer sound. Another option, if you're just playing a DVD for an in-class audience, is using the Blu-ray player installed in the tech cart. Just choose the Blu-ray player app from the touch panel and use the on-screen controls. Now, I focused a lot on the host PC, which is integrated very well into the system, but if you do prefer your own laptop, you can connect to the tech cart through a VGA or HDMI connection. Just open the cable cubby and you'll see the VGA cable for an analog signal and an HDMI cable for a digital signal. And every cart has audio cables as well. There's a black one for the headphone jack or audio out, and a blue one for a microphone or audio in. Another input that's available just in case you need it is the aux or auxiliary input. This has RCA jacks on the side of the cart for video and audio that may come from a VCR or camcorder, for example. The last option on the tech cart that I'll cover is AirMedia. This allows you to wirelessly connect your laptop or even a mobile device to the cart in order to share your desktop or content. To begin that presentation, just follow the on-screen instructions. For a laptop, that means entering the URL listed into a browser, or even easier yet, and my preferred method, is just the IP address that's in parentheses. It may be easier to just plug in a cable if you are going to be standing at the tech cart, but just know that this is a viable option. Now, before you walk out the door, don't forget to take off your microphone. Unscrew and unplug the mic, and then place the transmitter back into the charging dock, and make sure to press all the way down until you see the green charging light. After that, you're good to go. Now, once your lecture is all done and you are ready to log out of the computer and walk out of the room, what you need to do is, first of all, if you're on the host computer, save any documents or anything that you save to the hard drive itself. Either that's putting it on a USB drive or storing it in the cloud, because once you log out of the computer here, it's going to wipe everything from the hard drive, and that is not going to be good. I actually had that happen one time, so I can tell you it's not fun. So make sure you put in the cloud or put on a drive any documents or files that you need to keep. Okay, once you're actually ready to log out of the computer, the proper way to do it on the tech cart host computers is double-clicking the logout button. Do not go to start and shut down or restart, anything like that. Go ahead and double-click the logout button. Okay, so what that logout option does is actually wipes all of your information from the hard drive. It restarts the computer and puts a fresh new build on it and comes back to the logon screen for the next person. Well, that's a look at the hybrid tech cart. Hopefully this was helpful. If you have questions while you're in the room, you can reference that hybrid tech cart guide that is on the desktop. Beyond that, if you have further questions, just feel free to reach out to the IT service desk at 517-432-3700. 6200.